All right, I think we're ready to make some more progress on our little Ferguson here. I glued down the valve cover gasket earlier, so it should be ready to take all these off, and then we can put it back on. Then our top end sealed up. Our oil filter situation turned out kind of sad. I'll explain that in a minute, but I think we got everything we need to point us in the right direction anyway. So here we go. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man, and this here is the Ferguson 30 that belongs to my uncle, which was bought new by my great-grandpa, and consequently the would probably be like the great-grandson of the dealer messaged me after that last video asking if I knew where the tractor came from new, and I said absolutely, it came from your great-grandpa. So they said they still have all the parts books and everything from the dealership days, so that's kind of neat. But anyway, the story goes, I don't know if I told it before, the tractor was delivered in the middle of winter time, and it was freezing cold that day, and they drove it over there, which was probably maybe, I don't know what, 12, 15 miles maybe, and it was, I guess, a bitterly cold day. And when the guy got there to great-grandma and grandpa's house, he sat in front of the wood stove for a good while, and then great-grandpa took him back home in his car. So anyway, just a little interesting side note. But yeah, so we're going to start by putting our clothespins back in our jar. This is a trick that you can use because it helps you get everything where it needs to be. You know, sometimes the gaskets don't play nice out of the box, and it's hard to get them to stay in their shape. So if you have a valve cover, especially like this, that has a lip where you can clip to, then you can put it where you want it and clothespin it in place. And let the old weather stripping take hold. And then when that's done, then it's ready to put on. And the thinking is, if you glue it with something aggressive like the weather strip adhesive on one side, if you have to take it loose again, you can. Now, this being a cork gasket, which I do not prefer, but that's just the way valve covers are, I may use just a tiny film of the Permatex on the motor, because like I said, I really don't want this thing to leak at all, especially on a tractor like this where the gas tank sits over this and you can't get to it to easily fix it. Okay, what you can't see is I'm trying to figure out how I got all of these to fit in this jar. I know you have to turn some upside down, but it is in fact working. I maybe didn't get enough in the bottom layer. I guess we can throw some over our shoulder and pretend they're not going to hurt us anymore. I just really would like to put these in the service truck again. Man, we're going to have it where 3 of them won't fit. That's silly. Get in there. Peer pressure. Come on. I think that's going to work good. And our surface is clean. I got it clean yesterday, so it should be ready to go. Perhaps I might take a little brake clean and on a rag and wipe over it one more time, just to be sure that we're good. All right. All right, I think we're ready for valve cover action. And we need to be mindful of our vent tube situation, which is on that side. Then we have copper washers. So we'll get that done. And then somebody put on, I don't know why, but they put on these. I don't really think that that's going to benefit us in any way. I think it would be better to just go straight to the copper, see? I may discover why the person did that halfway through, but yeah. I don't know that we need it much tighter than that. I think we're at our where we need to be. That's what I'm saying. Looks good. We'll go with that. Okay, now for our vent tube, I need to wipe some of this paint back off of here. I'm glad that I took this off because it was just practically plugged up. So this will be better for it now. Sure, you can see what's happening. Yeah. I'm just gonna wipe on this surface here. We're getting there. All right, again with the cork gaskets. Not a fan of cork necessarily, but nothing lasts forever, so I guess we'll just deal with it. If it leaks again and makes us look foolish, wouldn't be the first time. Put this back down in there as such. And I think I am missing one lock washer, but that's okay. We can go get one out of the service truck because there was something else I needed too that is missing off of this. I try to get everything as close as possible hardware wise. I see a lot of guys when I work on stuff somebody else has worked on. Oh, if it is missing a lock washer, no big deal. Or if it's missing whatever, no big deal. Well, it looks like crap when you're done, you know? You got all kind of different fasteners. You're missing stuff. I'd just rather have it the way it's supposed to be. So I'll probably go ahead and go get that. Because I sure don't know what became of it. And the other thing I need to go get whilst I'm at the service truck is I need to get a new one of those drain valves for the bottom of the radiator, which I'm pretty sure I have some in there. So anyway, I will go get that and I'll be right back. All right, good times. Not only did I get the lock washer, but actually right here behind me in the shed, I forgot I bought out a whole bunch of parts from a guy who did restoration work and then sold all he had and moved away. So I found a new one of these. So we'll put that in the radiator after a while. We'll finish one thing at a time so we don't get bum-fuzzled. That is an old-timey word. Look it up. This is another one that less tight is your friend, more than... We're gonna stop with that. I think we're good. Good shape there. All right. I think before we forget, we're gonna put this in, because I just know if I don't, I'll forget and I'll end up running antifreeze on the ground, and it's too expensive to do that. So I will get the wrench that it takes. I think it's 9/16 to get that done. Okay. How to do this with all of our hands? Well, we're not getting very good here, are we? That's... Okay, stop. That's wrong. I'm gonna go this way. There we go. And the skeeters are back, I see. So that's pleasant, with them biting me the whole time. We're gonna stop with that. We got us something now. Now, let's review our oil filter situation. Well, originally I thought that we were just gonna replace the gasket between the block and the adapter here, and that would be good. But then I discovered that the gasket between the can and this piece was just practically non-existent. So that will not do. So I suppose we will start by mounting this back on the tractor. We have to make a gasket. I don't have enough gasket material to make this, so I'm going to have to get some from town so I can seal this back to this. And then we should be ready. He sent the filter and oil, so that'll have that. And then, basically, some antifreeze, and it'll be ready to run. So, put the gas tank back on. We can probably do that part today. We might actually do the gas tank first. I think for the sake of getting the most stuff on I can before I'm out of daylight, I'll just go ahead and set the gas tank back on and get it all mounted up. I also found a set of spark plug wires, so I can make those up real quick. And then I'll get some plugs from town. I think it ought to have plugs. It's probably been a while. And yeah, wanted to make that gasket for the oil filter, but we may just end up getting gasket material to make everything, because I got a piece I thought I could get that out of, but I just don't know if it's quite large enough to do that. So we're going to go to the gas tank now. All right. Let's see here. You got to remember all the tricks. It's got those bars that go in there. So that was like this bar here laid in there. You just can't hardly see what you're doing, but we will figure it out. No worries. There, I can see the daylight through the bolt hole, so I think we used long extension to get it, if I remember right. The old ADD kicked in, and I thought, hey, why not tighten the fuel line? So that's what's happening right now. The camera probably does a better job of lighting, but it's just about getting too dark to work in here. I can't see without the flashlight in the shade here, so. We've got sadness. My piece of rubber fell out underneath, so I gotta start over on the back. Easier said than done. It is a pain. It may end up being time to just walk away for today, because I've got skeeters chewing on me, and I've just kind of had enough, you know. I really wanted to get this almost done, but sometimes it's just not worth it. Oh, that's why it didn't work, because it's not the right size. That would explain it. Now. Okay. Let's get ourselves some kind of light situation. Alright. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, you see what we fight when we're doing this. Extremely tight quarters. And I need to reassemble my camera bracket. It's, I think, filming itself. But that's fine. I think I got it. I have to move you though, because oh, well, you moved yourself. Boy, that's kind of a problem to do. But we'll get her. Doesn't do much good to point the camera in there because you won't be able to see it in the dark. Also, one of the first things he asked me to get was a new gas cap, and I'm hoping that this will fit. I'm definitely going to keep that old one, save it. But there we go. I mean, that's original. I hope that someday I might inherit this tractor, so I want to keep all the original parts. Somewhere I think I've got the generator I took off when I put the alternator on. So, put it on the shelf and save it. Okay, I think I'm going to wait on oil filter for another video, but I'm gonna make these wires real quick. I know you've seen me do this a bunch, but hey, you're watching stuff that I do every day. That's the whole reasoning behind these videos, so just the way it is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. We're just gonna go down the line. Or not. That's what I was afraid of. Come on. Yeah, see, these are just wore out. The boots are cracked. Look, the end is corroded and green. I actually don't know if I should get him a different distributor cap too, because that's kind of nasty. That's just asking for trouble. Well, I got it cleaned out, but that's kind of nasty in there. That's what I was afraid of when I was looking at it. And it's only a matter of time before it starts running bad. And I think it would probably hurt less to just do everything right now that we think it needs, instead of getting it back and then it start running bad, and then, you know, I just had my tractor worked on. Now it's already messed up, so I don't know. I've got quite the week coming up as far as stuff to work on, so I gotta get these projects pretty well wrapped up. This one in the 270. I gotta go work on a silage wagon. I didn't film that the other night, but I got a call from a guy and went out there and we worked on this silage wagon all night long, it seemed like. And finally got the gearbox out and realized it was toast. Found another gearbox on the electronic bay, and he sent me a message the other day and said it came in the mail, so if I had time to run out and help him put it on. And it was not a new gearbox that we got. We got a seller refurbished gearbox, so, you know, there's not a lot of choices for old equipment, and that was what we could come up with. All right, well, the GoPro battery died, but I think I'm pretty well done for tonight. After seeing this cap and how corroded it was, I'm amazed that the little thing was running perfectly like it was, because this is pretty bad. And just looking over this stuff, it's time for a tune-up. I mean, look at how burnt, corroded that is. And then you look at the points. They're not in the best of shape. I mean, it's amazing. Like I said, it's amazing that it's been running as good as it has. So instead of making wires tonight and getting bit by mosquitoes like I'm doing right now, and that's why the camera keeps twitching, instead of making new wires and jamming them down in the corroded hole of the cap, I'm just going to hold out and finish it whenever I got all this stuff. So I'll go tomorrow and get more parts, and then hopefully in the next video we will see it run again. We'll get the oil filter base all put back together, oil filter put in, oil, antifreeze, finish the ignition tune-up, and then we'll fire it up and see, hopefully, that we have it all totally fixed. So that's where we're going to leave it now. As always, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you don't want to see. Tell me you hate me, whatever. Anything you say helps the channel. And as always, thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.